Hello, welcome back to another video. Today is like the middle of the year, so well, when this goes up it'll be a little bit past the middle of the year, but it is time for the top 10 books of the year so far. I have read some amazing books this year. I am really happy with my reading. I think as of today I've read like 60 books. So I've picked my top 10, and as fortune would have it, I have 9 5-star reads and 1 4.5-star read. So that sort of narrowed it down to 10 for me quite nicely. I have ranked them, but in good old-fashioned booktuber covering your arseness, this could change on any day. It depends on what sort of book I'm in the mood for as to where I would rank these, but this is what we're going with for today. All of these books are exceptional. These are the best books that I've read. So don't think like number 10 is rubbish. Number 10 is excellent. So let's just do it. Number 10, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So this is a sci-fi novel about a bloke who wakes up in space, doesn't know where he is, why he's there, what his name is, and we follow through as he tries to figure out all of those things, and he sort of has flashbacks, and that sort of starts filling in some of the holes in his amnesia. And I loved it. It was laugh out loud funny in so many places. I literally cannot recommend like the comedy in this enough. It is dry, sarcastic, witty humour, and I was there for it. It was a teeny tiny bit science heavy for me, and I do quite like science, so I was surprised at that, but the book as a whole was fantastic. Highly recommend. In at number 9 we have The Pull of the Stars by Emma Donoghue, and this is set in World War One, I think, when the Spanish influenza was sort of sweeping through Ireland, and we follow a midwife over the course of just a few days. I think it's like 3 days or something, and what it's like for her working on a maternity ward with people who have the flu. And this was really heartbreaking. It was really impactful. I loved the main character and the women that she was looking after, and I just thought it was a beautiful novel, and I really enjoyed it. In at number 8 is Careless by Kirsty, a book that I never would have assumed would be on this list, and this is thanks to the Women's Prize. So this was longlisted, and I read it a few months ago, and it was so good. So in this we follow Bess, who is a 15-year-old girl who right at the very beginning of the book finds out she is pregnant, and she is in the foster system, so she has a foster mother, and it really just analyses her life, really, what it's like being a child in care, what it's like maybe considering being a teen mother, how she got to that point, what decisions led her to that, and the subsequent decisions that she makes after she finds out she's pregnant, and the influence of her foster parents and sister on that. And it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed it. It made me pretty cross in places, I'm not gonna lie. I buddy read this with Alice and Danny, and so yeah, there were a lot of kind of voice notes going about, but yeah, absolutely loved it. And Kirsty has a new book coming out in July, so I'm very much looking forward to picking that up as soon as I possibly can. Number 7, Open Water by Azumah Nelson. This was a snip of a book, and I didn't really know if it was going to be for me. It's written in second person, and it's not really a love story. It's about a man who meets a woman and their relationship together, and what it's like to be a black man in London and an artist. And yeah, it is very much a character driven book. It's very introspective. It is this main character looking at himself and looking at his decisions, and I adored it. It's really poetically written. Apparently as well, this is going to be part of a trilogy. Thanks very much to Eric Carl Anderson for interviewing him on his channel the other day. Yeah, so I'm really keen to pick up the next 2 books that Nelson writes, because this was... In at number 6 we have Detransition Baby by Torrey. This was a great book. So in this we follow 3 characters really. We follow a trans woman, and then I'm not quite sure the right way to say this, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but a man who has detransitioned. So he started as a man and then he transitioned into a woman and then he detransitioned back into a man. And his girlfriend, his cis girlfriend. So those are the 3 characters in the book, and the girlfriend finds herself pregnant, and it's about how these 3 characters interact around this news and what they want to do about the baby. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was pretty brutal in places. I have got a whole review of this up. I'll link that below. But yeah, this really sort of opened my eyes a little bit to some of the trans experiences. It was the first time I'd read a book exclusively focused on that, which I need to change. I need to read much more literature like that. And yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough. In at number 5, a little bit of a change of tone, and we have Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. This is a fantastic classic children's book following Anne Shirley and her misadventures as she is adopted by Matthew and Marilla, a brother and sister in Avonlea. And yeah, it was just delightful. You couldn't help but smile at the things that Anne said and did, and the impact that she had on the people around her. And I adored it. So that's in at number 5. In at number 4, the only non-fiction to make my list, and that's Things I Have Withheld by Kai Miller. This is an essay collection, and Kai Miller is a Jamaican author, and he talks about his experiences in Jamaica as a gay black man, also about his experiences in London, and he travels to Africa, and there's some stuff about that. Again, I have a solo review for this one, so I will leave that link below, but never has a non-fiction essay collection impacted me in the way that this has. I cannot even begin to explain how phenomenal this book is. Kai Miller is also a poet, so the writing is very, very lyrical and beautiful, and yeah, I adored it. In at number 3, we have Magma by Thora Hjorleifstottir. Hjorleifstottir is an Icelandic author, and this book is a story of domestic violence, domestic abuse, but it's emotional abuse. So I don't think I've ever read a book that focuses on emotional abuse and how significant it can be. This was a really short read, but man, did it pack a punch. And I think it's really important for people to understand how quickly things can escalate in a relationship to a level where a woman or a man has no control at all over the decisions that are being made. And yeah, I thought it was fabulous, and I would absolutely recommend this one. In at number 2, so number 2 and number 1 were really hard to pick between, but I've gone at number 2 for Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. I have waxed quite lyrical about this one already, but this is a multi-generational epic sweeping saga following Marion Graves, who is a female pilot in the sort of 1920s and 1930s, and we see what sort of led her to that life and what she does with it and her interactions with people around her. And it's so much more than the pilot thing. It is about a woman growing up with a dream and her life story, really. And I absolutely adored it. It is split timeline as well, so we follow an actress playing Marion Graves in the current timeline, and I really enjoyed that as well, because it like drops in little hints of what's to come and you're like trying to puzzle it all together. I thought that was fabulously done. And so yeah, that is my number 2, which, to those of you that may have been here before, you probably know what I'm going to say, but my number 1 is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. I would never have predicted at the beginning of the year that my number 1 would be a Western, but it is. This book was fantastic. It is really long, it's like 900 pages or something, and we follow a group of cowboys as they move from the Mexican border up to Montana. They drive some cattle up the country, and it's about what happens there. So it is very about the characters, and we follow several different characters, and they are all just so brilliantly written. Even the ones you don't like, you are invested in what happens with them. You may want them to die, but you are invested in their storyline. And yeah, McMurtry is a genius in this book, and it gives you such a feeling of adventure as you're reading through. And honestly, I didn't want it to end. I could have carried on reading about these characters for longer, which is quite a feat for a book that's approaching 1,000 pages. I know there are some others in this series which I am planning to read, but yeah, I would definitely give my top spot to Lonesome Dove. And that is my top 10. I would love to hear what your top 10s are. Obviously, if you're watching and you have a YouTube channel, you're probably going to do this video anyway. But if you're a subscriber, please let me know what your top 10 are. I'd really love to know. And yeah, I think that's it for today. If you're interested in my favourite books from last year, I'll leave that video here, and I will catch you very soon with another one. Bye guys.